In the darkness of infinite space lies our galaxy, the Milky Way, home to hundreds of billions of stars and countless worlds. If even a fraction of those worlds host life, then the universe may be filled with intelligent civilizations. So we ask the most dangerous question of all. Are we alone? But what if we never were? What if someone came before us, shaped our myths, taught us civilization, and then disappeared? Across the world, ancient ruins and forbidden knowledge suggest this idea is not fantasy, but memory. And in the heart of Africa, an isolated tribe may hold the key to one of the universe's greatest mysteries. This is not a story about belief. This is a story about forgotten knowledge. To secret history. The belief in gods or superior beings descending from the skies has dominated human thought for thousands of years across the world. The Mayas' Kukulkan, the Aztecs' Quetzalcoatl, Egypt's Ra, the Norse Odin. All of these cultures, and many more, revered these figures as gods because of their superior powers, and built the foundations of their civilizations around them. What makes this even more intriguing is that many of these ancient cultures left behind physical depictions of these visitors from the skies, like this relief carved into stone inside the Palenque Pyramid, believed to depict the Mayan king Pakal the Great. In this relief, Pakal is shown departing from Earth, mounted on a strange machine, controlling it with his hands and feet. Even more striking are the flames emerging from beneath this mechanical device. According to the story, Pakal ascended to the realm of the gods. When we look at the Bible and the Torah, we encounter descriptions of the Ark of the Covenant emitting energy and electricity, and prophets being taken into the sky by metallic discs. When we turn to the Quran, we find accounts of cities like Sodom and Gomorrah being destroyed by an attack from the heavens, using specific methods. The pyramids were constructed with engineering and mathematical knowledge that seems impossible for their era. Massive ziggurats across Mesopotamia were built as homes for celestial gods. Example after example, the story grows richer, yet the common thread never changes. Beings who came from the sky taught humanity, gave us civilization. Some even claim they designed us, and then, for reasons unknown, left, promising one day to return. Today, we no longer call them gods, but modern science continues its search for life in space with full force. SETI has spent decades scanning the cosmos for radio signals from intelligent civilizations. Next-generation space telescopes are searching for habitable planets, and they have already found thousands. And as a symbol of this search, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 were launched into deep space in 1977, carrying golden records containing information about our planet and our species. A message in a bottle, sent into the cosmic ocean. In short, our belief that someone is out there is incredibly strong, and the idea that our paths may cross again one day seems almost inevitable. But what triggers this instinct? Why do we constantly look up at the sky, dreaming of going there, hoping to find someone waiting for us? To answer this, we must return to our past. Because remember, those who do not know their past cannot understand their future, especially when certain things seem to pull us, as if they were written into our DNA. In the 1930s, the famous French anthropologist Marcel Griaule and his colleague Germaine Dieterlen encountered a people living on the rocky plateaus of Mali while exploring forgotten African cultures, the Dogon. The two researchers spent years studying this culture and learning its beliefs, and as they gained the tribe's trust, the depth of the knowledge shared with them increased, becoming ever more mysterious. The reason was simple. This isolated tribe living far from civilization, possessed an extraordinarily advanced understanding of astronomy. And this was not merely knowledge. It was the very foundation of their belief system. At its center stood the brightest star in the sky, Sirius. Sirius was not important only to the Dogon. Throughout history, many civilizations placed this star at the heart of their beliefs and referred to it as the home of the gods. Some researchers suggest that Sirius, known as the dog star or wolf star, formed the basis of the Turkic myth of descent from the wolf. According to scholars like Mircea Eliade and Georges Dumézil, the symbolic importance of the wolf in Turkic culture is linked to Sirius being seen as the highest dwelling place of the gods. More radical theories even claim that beings from Sirius, viewed as ancient aliens in other cultures, were the ancestors of the Turks. Of course, this is an extreme claim, but the connection between Sirius, ancient gods, and extraterrestrial ideas also appears explicitly in the Quran. In Surah An-Najm, the chapter of the star, we are told that Sirius also has a lord, which is Allah, and that we should not seek help from celestial beings such as Lat, Uzza, or Manat. Despite its complex structure, the chapter speaks of celestial beings, a cosmic threshold, and a realm even Gabriel cannot pass. In this sense, Surah An-Najm is deeply cosmological and astronomical. I emphasize this example because, contrary to mainstream claims, I believe prophets truly existed and transmitted ancient knowledge to humanity across ages. I do not think they received this knowledge through extraterrestrial means. Rather, they conveyed ancient wisdom and monotheistic belief, which humans repeatedly corrupted and reverted back to old symbolic systems. If you study the Umayyad period even briefly, you will see how this regression occurred. Returning to Sirius and the Dogon, at this point you may ask, if so many cultures mention this star, what makes the Dogon so special? Here is why. While studying the Dogon, Marcel Griaule spoke for weeks with the tribe's great sage, Ogotameli. When Ogotameli described Sirius, he did not speak of a single star. He spoke of Sirius and its companion. The Dogon called this companion Tolo. In their language, Tolo means star, and Po refers to a tiny grain. In Dogon mythology, Tolo is invisible to the naked eye, small and dim compared to its companion, yet described as one of the heaviest stars in the sky. They claimed it completed an orbit around Sirius every 50 years. This is where things become extraordinary. Sirius B is indeed invisible to the naked eye, overpowered by the brightness of Sirius A. Modern astronomy discovered Sirius B only in the 19th century using telescopes. It is a dense white dwarf star, exactly as the Dogon described. And according to modern measurements, its orbital period is approximately 50 years. How could an isolated African tribe know this? Thousands of years ago. And this is not the only example. The Dogon placed great importance on celestial bodies, believing they played key roles in cosmic balance. They spoke of Saturn's rings as layers measuring cosmic cycles, like a celestial clock. Yet Saturn's rings cannot be seen with the naked eye. Even Galileo could not fully understand them. Their descriptions of Jupiter and other planets were more symbolic, filled with metaphor rather than literal detail. Which means, yes, the information is striking, but it should always be approached with caution. Even the Dogon themselves admit there are mysteries they do not yet understand. So how did they know? To answer that, we must explore their origins. According to Dogon tradition, their ancestors once lived near the Nile River, before migrating westward over generations to modern-day Mali. Their culture is believed to be influenced by ancient Egyptian and Nubian civilizations. But the Dogon were fiercely isolated, fleeing both Egyptian and later Islamic dominance to preserve their belief system. And because of this isolation, their knowledge remained remarkably unchanged. Now we reach the core of their creation myth. At the center stand beings called the Nommo. According to Dogon belief, these semi-divine beings came to Earth from the Sirius star system. They were amphibious, half fish, half human, sometimes serpent-like, and descended from the sky into water. Ancient texts describe their arrival as accompanied by thunder, tremors, floods, and light. The Nommo taught humanity stars, seeds, rhythm, and cosmic order. They created the first humans, unsuccessfully at first, then succeeded with a second creation, forming 8 primordial ancestors. One of these rebelled, disrupting cosmic harmony. To restore balance, the Nommo sacrificed themselves, scattering their essence across the world. Before leaving, they left behind 366 sacred symbols through which cosmic knowledge could be rediscovered. This includes knowledge of Sirius, Saturn's rings, the spiral structure of the galaxy, and the infinite nature of the cosmos. Whether future discoveries will confirm these claims remains to be seen. 2 things stand out to me. First, the story of the 7 wise beings and 1 rebel mirrors myths found across the world. Second, nearly all belief systems, from the Anunnaki to Abrahamic religions, emphasize obedience and submission. So I ask you, is humanity being guided to evolve at a controlled pace, or are we being restrained, kept as servants, never meant to reach the level of our creators? Thank you all for watching the video. The Dogon are truly just one of many things in this world that we could call extraordinary. There are hundreds more topics to cover, and as time goes on, we will continue this journey together. If you would like to join me, you can support by subscribing to the channel, liking the videos, and sharing them with those around you. See you in the next video. Take care of yourselves.